All right, what's up, guys? Looks like we are live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. This is our Knoxville Nationals preview show. What, Josh? 3 days away from the start of the best 10 days in our sport, and 9 days away from the official kickoff of the Knoxville Nationals. I'm amped for that. We're gonna get to all of it today. Any questions you guys have, throw them in one of the chat sections. We see all of them right on the side of our screens here. So if you have a question, that's kind of what this is for. We want to do a big mailbag and preview the 10 days. We are going to podcast a little bit during the week. We just don't know what nights yet. We're going to let the action kind of dictate all that. But without further ado, let's get this thing started. We'll play the intro and get some more people in here. Josh, we do have a little bit of an issue. My Steve Kinzer shirt, it sat in the dryer a little too long. It does not fit me as well as it used to.
This one fits me okay, though.
Oh, yeah, we got new ARD shirts. We don't have them for sale on the website yet. We're working on that. But Josh got them printed for us so we could have some stuff to wear. We got some other shirts that AKC Marketing was gracious enough to make for us as well. So lots of at least cool stuff we'll be wearing. We're going to try to get some out there. We still have like the late model suck shirt and stuff like that available on our website. And that's on our pinned tweet on Twitter as well, if you want a quick link to that. So feel free to check that out. I traded my shirt with a guy on Saturday night.
So, I've never seen that before. That was a first for me in 30 years at Knoxville.
I'm not Morgan Wallen. I didn't think anyone would want the shirt off my back. And this guy really wanted the Always Race Day shirt. So the 3 like low scale grayscale t-shirts I got from Josh, I now only have 2. But shout out to Kelly at the 3G spot. Good dude, fantastic guy. So yeah, let's get into talking about the Knoxville Nationals. 360s kickoff on Thursday, Josh. Probably one of those big races. We can call it a big race, right? I mean, we're biased towards it, but one of those big races that you have a real parity of winners over the years, especially recently with that event.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had a repeat winner in the last 5 years, so I'd say that's been pretty competitive. Aaron Reitzel was like literally probably that close from going back to back last year, and just got nipped by Brian Brown, and probably one of the most epic finishes you can really have in a race like that. So yeah,
I think it even goes back to 2016. We haven't had a repeat winner.
Yeah, that just goes to show. You could argue that some of the best racing you see is the week before the 410 Nationals, that the field is just so much more condensed and close on speed and stuff. And you always get great racing with the 360s as well. So, I mean, we've seen huge fields leading up to this week. It's hard to believe it's here, honestly. It's kind of snuck up on me, but I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I think this year might be the best day after Nationals I've ever had because it got here so fast. Usually I hate it because it's like, okay, best 10 days of the year are over. But I don't know, it approached way too quick, and I'm excited to get ready for next year already. So yeah. I don't know. I can't overlook these 10 days.
Not at all.
What should we go through kind of who we're excited to watch on Thursday and Friday of the qualifying nights here? It's 104 cars currently signed in when we're recording this. So
which that's as of Monday the 29th. So who knows how many more are going to go in there in the next couple days.
Yeah, and I think we got more 410 entries that we're prepared to see too. It could get up to around 110. I'm probably comfortable saying for the big Knoxville Nationals. And guys, if you have any questions about anything around Knoxville, what to do over the 10 days there and everything like that, shoot them our way in any of the comment sections. We'll see them pop up on the right side of the screen. So, but yeah, fantastic fields on both days. I think Justin Henderson's the newest entry on those lists. I'd have to go check my documents and see what got updated, but up to 104 for 360s, and always anytime you get over 100 for an event, it is really, really big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it just like scanning through the field already. I mean, look at all the 360 wins this year at Knoxville that you have qualifying in the first night. It, I mean, it's the biggest 360 race I think
Yeah.
in the country. So, um, everybody's going to bring their best like they always do. I mean, you got Randall, Breitzel, McCarl,
Emerson Axum just grabbed
Emerson
his
Axon.
first 360 win at Knoxville, and he looks really solid.
Yep.
A lot of first time winners this year. I got to bring up Nate Mills just for the sake
Yep.
of bringing him up. Fantastic dude. It was awesome when he won on his night. I don't know if he'll be a threat to win 360 Nationals, but got to give him a mention for sure. Dustin asks if Rico's on the list or if he's going to Ironman. I think Ironman. He is not on the 360 entry list yet. Kyle Larson, not on the 360 entry list. I think he ran 360 2 years ago, right?
They all run together anymore, but yeah,
I know.
it
I
feels
think
like
it
it's
was
been
two
a
years
little
ago
bit.
because I think he ran it to get extra prep for nationals and still had to squeak his way in, if I remember right.
Yeah. Yeah, but like Tanner Holmes is also on Thursday as well. Cole Macedo is there too. I mean, you got a who's who of people, and yeah, I mean, I feel like we're going to repeat this a lot, but yeah, it should be a hell of a show this week, and we haven't even touched yet on the 410s yet either.
Yeah, Reitzel, McCarl, Cade Higday. Obviously, he got that big 10 grand to win victory, and obviously the tire penalty happened, and is what it is. Cade didn't want to do an interview, that's why we didn't talk to him
Yep.
on over the air, I guess, or over our YouTube channel. So if you
He
were
was
wondering about
he was hard charger last Saturday
yeah,
too, so he made a big charge from the B main against whatever it was, like 60 plus cars too. So I mean, yeah, he talk about someone that's improved from the beginning of this year up until now. Like that team has been getting pretty hot too for a local team that lives right across the street from Knoxville. So that'd be cool if they could have a good run.
yeah. And Dustin says he figured Larson would race 360s only because they've been a little behind the 8 ball this year on their big track program. I think there's a rhyme or reason to some things. Some teams approach it differently. What I will offer is no one's ever won 360s and 410s. So all these people run 360s to get laps at Knoxville. Well, it hasn't paid off directly, at least over the course of the 10 days. It's probably helped some people for sure. Another example, Tyler Courtney. He's ran the same car that he brought to Huset's. He ran at the Kings Royal, and he's bringing the Knoxville Nationals. That's their best car, and they changed the setup on it, and that's how they choose to run it. Some teams run a short track car and a long track car, and not that team. And that video got a lot of attention. I think a lot of people were kind of under the impression that, and I probably was too, that most teams have vice versa. They don't have just best stuff, next stuff, So it's really exciting to see, interesting, I should say, to see the different approaches from teams and everything like that going into the week, what they do at
For sure.
360 Nationals, how nervous are they on Saturday at 360 Nationals? It's kind of fun. You can tell, like, hey, some of these teams are like, we're raring to go, and some of them are like, okay, well, we'll see how it works. We just want to get better.
Right. And to Larson's point too, or to the Larson point, he may have had that race won. What was it, the Outlaw race earlier this year, and had a motor go. So
Yeah,
he knows how to get around Knoxville too. I wouldn't be surprised if he's probably down at the Ironman if he's racing this weekend too. But I mean, if the 57 rolls into Knoxville this week, who's going to be probably a favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do Friday, and then we'll kind of just talk storylines going into the week, and we'll kind of focus more on the 410 part of it, because I want this to kind of be an evergreen episode, and one we can keep there, because we'll do podcasts throughout the week, and we'll say this guy looked really good. We'll say if he can race like this in a 410, then it's gonna be something. I think we would have said that about Rico Saturday, yeah, Josh.
Yeah, and he was there, but the Taz he came out on top. I got a dark horse for you on Friday that I think might have a chance and could shock people, but
Go
we'll
for
get
it.
no, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay. All right.
We'll get to
Well,
that.
I'm gonna take it then. No, I'm just going down the list. Tasker Phillips just got his first 410 win at Knoxville Saturday. That was awesome. Brian Brown's running Friday as well. I almost said Emerson Axum. That says Carson McCarl. Carson's ran really well at Knoxville this year. Casey
Sawyer
Kane
Phillips.
running on Casey Kane Friday. You have to got to make sure that's there. Sawyer, obviously. Dusty Zomer running Friday too. He looked kind of sporty at times. I think he got swallowed by the format Saturday night in that 360. That was the first time I've seen him race that car. And then I don't know who your dark horse. Okay, I think I might. Give me two guesses on the dark horse.
All right, go.
Is it Darren Pittman?
You nailed it.
Okay,
that guy, he knows how to race at Knoxville when the lights are bright. And he was pretty damn quick in that 69K when they got off the porch and made it out here. And it's cool to see that they're going to be here for both. I know that that's quite a trip for that team. And when they're in attendance, that's cool. And that team, they've been pretty quick together. I would look out for him.
I agree. Another one is the Rookie of the Year, chasing that for the 360 Nationals. I think it's Emerson Axum is definitely got to be at the top of that list, along with Devin Borden, and I'm going to throw Hank Davis in there. Is that a fair top three for the 360 Rookie of the Year title?
I think so. And Hank looked really good on Saturday last weekend too. That him and Wayne are really clicking, it seems like, in Knoxville right now. And that's another that crew chief has seen success. He's a former 360 Nationals champion in his own right. And with him spinning the wrenches for Hank, that's a good combo right now.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I think that Scott Boguski, we need to mention him.
Yeah. Matt Morrow's 2M with Ryan Giles. They showed speed. I know they struggled a little bit in the feature, but that 2M is usually pretty quick when it gets to this time of year too. Tyler Gronendijk is also another Knoxville local that he was kind of he was knocking on the door. Yeah, he was knocking on the door on Saturday and just couldn't quite get there. But I mean, Clint Garner is a former champion too, and I know he probably hasn't had the season that he would have liked with wins. But you can never count out the Blue 40 either at Knoxville.
I missed Jamie Ball he's on the Thursday list. We missed a lot of people. We got to stop trying to do.
Yeah. There's so many.
But yeah, a ton of fantastic drivers going head to head in this race. I'm excited to get down there and talk to them and see what storylines kind of emerge the opening few days. But yeah, a few storylines that I'm keeping an eye on going forward for Nationals. Carson Macedo he's had a down. It's unfair to call it a down year because he's still up there in the standings. He is still going head to head as much as you can with a guy as good as David Gravel has been lately. His Knoxville package in certain years has been really nails really, really fast. Does he turn this thing around come August 7th through 10th?
I mean, time will tell. A few years ago, he almost won the 360 Nationals in the 41. And now, he's still got Phil Dietz on the wrenches there too. So that combo is always going to be tough at Knoxville for sure. They did not look great when they were here for the Outlaw show either night. But they seem to be picking up pace again here as of late. So we'll see. I mean, he won I think he did win his prelim night last year on Thursday. So beat Larson and Spencer Basin. Yep. I mean, it's tough. I see, like you said, Dustin, he's going to have to compete with Gravel and Donnie if you're going to win, and Larson as well too. Yeah, there's so many good cars right now.
I'm thinking about putting a power rankings thing together, and I mean, the top 10 is all right next to each other. Rico Abreu is in there. You brought up Donnie and obviously Kyle, and you look at Aaron Reitzel and what he's been able to do. Austin McCarl has been bad fast this year. Maybe that's because there's different guys racing him every week. The new dirt has seemed to thrown a wrench into things a little bit, along with the tires and how they react to one another. We've had 7 first-time winners at Knoxville this year. There's different people up front every week. The only 2 constants are Aaron Reitzel and Austin McCarl. And there's weeks where they DNF, right? That it could be one of the crazier Knoxville Nationals that we've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure. And you still have the Shark cars too. They won the prelim nights, I believe, a couple of years ago.
Did they sweep the prelims in the same year?
I can't remember if one of them won the Hard Knocks night too, or if it was the prelim, like Wednesday, Thursday qualifiers.
They're fast though.
Yes.
They get fast this time of year.
And Logan was in contention last year, and I think they burned a motor down. So like that, in these big races on the half miles too. He's the $1 million man from last year. He's definitely one to watch.
Yeah, and down at Eldora, I think I want to say Logan was up there and fell back, and Jacob got 4th or 5th. Does that sound right to you?
It feels like a long time ago.
That could have been the Thursday race. That could have been the high limit jackpot.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of speed out of those teams as well. And I think it's going to be something to see when this top 24, when these 24 cars are set going into the A main of nationals, obviously because of the race. But you remember what we were talking about on that Saturday night during Kings Royal is I don't think there's going to be big names missing the show because they got swallowed by a format. It'll be because they got beat on the racetrack, unlike that event out there.
Yeah, even though you've been clamoring for that wheel to make it out to Knoxville, I won't hold that against you.
If anyone makes a replica wheel, I will set it on fire.
In the work
Hopefully
area.
I can say that on YouTube. I haven't cussed yet this episode. It's pretty good for me. But yeah, no, we definitely want to do a commercial like that or something. If anyone's interested, let us know.
Yeah, I mean, the Saturday night A main at the Knoxville Nationals are, the best of the best for a whole week. You have your chance to get in. If you're good enough, you usually get in. So it's going to be fun, man. Like we said, I can't believe it's already here.
If you overdrive it trying to get there. We saw it in back-to-back heat races last year with Aaron Reitzel and David Gravel.
Yep.
That was one of the cooler nights of this sport. I hate seeing guys wreck. I hate seeing guys wreck like that. They both weren't easy looking wrecks, and I think both of them made the show, right?
They did. Yeah. And like moves like that, you have to go for it, because I remember, I think it may have been the 2018 or 2019 when I believe it was Gravel in the 5 still. And he went like 4 wheels over the cushion and just passed like everybody in his heat race, because you're starting so far back. You got to take risks. And a lot of times, it's risk versus reward. And these guys are really good. And those really good guys, they can sometimes take those extra risks that maybe a local guy or just somebody that doesn't get to race at Knoxville or a big half miles just don't have the confidence or the car to do it. And then they show why they're the best in the world.
Yeah. And I think it's a couple of things that people might expect us to do on the show. Is should it move to 6 or should it go to 10 like it used to be? And I think I've talked to enough drivers last year during the week for the invert for heat races. And I'm never having that conversation again, because it was probably 1/3 10, 1/3 6, and 1/3 keep it as is. There's absolutely no clear leader in the clubhouse there. And I like 8. Some people think it's too much. Some people complain about the format and say they're not going to bring their sprint car all the way down here, but the day before the race, they're up till 3 a.m. drinking, even though they got to drive in the race the next day. I'm not naming names.
Nobody would do
that. We were also there drinking, so that's...
Yeah, I mean, it's people have complained about it, forever. The Saturday purse is almost $900,000 and it pays $190,000 to win. It's a show for the fans at the end of the day. Drivers aren't going to necessarily like having to come from the back, but shit, you got a full house. I saw Dustin was asking if the Friday night is sold out yet. I don't know if it is yet, but it sounded like they're getting pretty close on the PA when they're talking about that last week. But yeah,
I like the way he thinks. I'd love to sell out all 4 nights.
Absolutely, and I think we're headed that way if the growth keeps kind of going up and to the right like it has been. But yeah, 8 seems good to me. I think 10 is too much, especially when you have that many cars. Even when they split the field, and
you're asking for yellows,
or reds, and nobody wants to see that. Yep.
If you got slower cars starting in the front of a field and the faster cars are in the back and they're lined up to the exact, if you listed guys on speed in their takeoff and you lined them up like that,
that's 2 more slower guys that are up front further, which everybody, pays to race there. But yes, that is just probably a little too much. And I think 6 probably isn't enough if you're going to take whatever it is for 4 cars. So yeah, I think 8
6 at Knoxville every Saturday. It doesn't fill the stands.
No,
I shouldn't use that. That's a very hypocritical point for me to make when I complain about.
But we still get great racing at pretty much every Saturday with 6. So yeah, eight makes it a little bit tougher, and it should be tough to make it into the Knoxville Nationals.
Yeah, and I feel like the 8 too. Just if the track is hard to pass on, it's typically harder to pass on for everybody. I don't want to say that across the board because it can get worn in better, and that's why the draw is so big at nationals, because you want to make sure you're put in an advantageous spot, and it really just creates more drama in everything that is there.
That's the thing you could maybe have a conversation with me about, maybe at a different time, about
what's that, the draw?
Not doing split qualifying. And I know that opens up things, because you're in big trouble if you draw, like 10 cars from last versus going out in the first half. That to me is a hell of a lot bigger of a disadvantage to people than it is if you're starting 8th in your heat race.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. It can get really, I mean, we saw how many big names qualify poorly and missed the invert completely at Kings Royal. They missed the invert if it was going to be 6, let alone if the wheel spun a 4.
Right. But I don't have many, other than that, I don't really have any qualms with it. I think
just the people at Eldora, don't be scared. You guys are scared. I'll say scared shitless. That's fine. Put some more zeros on there. Make it an equal shot. My goodness, you want to de-incentivize people to cheat the qualifying for? Put some damn zeros on there. Okay.
It still is entertainment after all. That's all I'll say about the wheel.
You know what's entertaining? Watching the best guys go against each other. That's what I like. But some of them were in the pits. Anyways, thank you, Josh, for the kind words. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yes, appreciate you
listening. You know what we should do that no one else is doing? The Olympics have started. Let's talk about what it would be like if they had race cars in the Olympics. I've only seen 17 shows do it this week, so I just thought we could be unique a little bit. Can Pittman make A-main? Darren Pittman can always make the A-main. Insert race, insert track. Darren Pittman can make the A-main.
And if you weren't here early, Mike, I think Darren Pittman might be one of my dark horse picks for the 360 Nationals win. He almost had it with the Speed Lab guys a couple years ago, and Gio got him.
If you guys want it, we'll do a draft where me, Damon, and Josh go, and we'll do a blurb on our pick, and we'll do it one by one. I don't know how many rounds we'll do. We'll figure out a fun way to do it and try to pick the best Nationals team. We usually do something like that through the year. We haven't. Hopefully next year we stick to it and actually do a punishment at the end of the year. I'm not sure what we do. We got to think of something. Josh, you're already out.
That sounds scary.
You don't want to do that. Sounds scary. Blaine Kupka, great guy, by the way. I met him at Oski last year, I think. I could be thinking of someone completely different. I'm pretty sure that was him. He says, what non-Knoxville, non-National Touring Series guy are you most excited to see these weekends at Knoxville? I think we can do either whichever event you want, but non-Knoxville, non-national guy.
That's a tough question.
I don't think my buddy Ayrton Jensen counts, right?
Yeah, that's kind of where I would go too, but I don't know if he counts because he used to be up here all the time. He's like a pseudo regular local guy anymore. Just from a racing aspect, I mean, it's cool when like the Cali guys come out here because they usually mix it up quite a bit. Like Tanner Holmes is fun to watch. His content is awesome online, and he's a good dude to talk to. He's not on really a national series right now. I think that might change. In the future, he's definitely got a bright future, it would appear. But I think that'll be my pick. What do you think?
Shane Gallbeck isn't on the entry list yet, so let me shoot him a text and see if he's racing.
He's a good one too. But I do not see him.
Fun guy to watch. I could just name all of the. I really could. I really could just name all the guys that fit that category and say I'm excited to see him. Darren Pittman's probably the other one.
Darren Pittman is going, and someone that'll get reactions from people, guaranteed, that'll be out here. He's getting off the porch as well as Danny Dietrich. You either like him or you hate him, and that's normally a good thing. If you're getting a reaction, that's normally pretty good. It's better
Denny
than not getting
Hamlin's
any
been
reaction.
to the Knoxville Nationals before. Do you think this will impact if he comes this year?
I don't know. He was tweeting with Gravel the other night about if he would sponsor a car that he'd be invested in him. So who knows? You never know who shows up at Knoxville Nationals. It's cool walking through the pits and just seeing what random faces you get to see.
Yeah,
That's a
I'm
good question
excited.
though. That was a tough one.
Jeremy brings up Caleb Henry. I agree with you. He does the Caleb with the I and the E. Because there is two, right? They're two different people.
I don't know. Caleb is. I saw. Yeah, he's in the 101. He's the KALIB.
KALIB. That's the
Yep.
one I've met before. And I think there's another one. I think he's from Minnesota.
Caleb
Does that
Johnson.
sound right?
No, you're thinking of.
I'm thinking of Caleb Johnson.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. No, that 101 car though is I remember when Lockie McHugh was in it. It had some speed. There's been a couple guys in it between Henry and back then.
Yep.
But when Lockie was in it, he was making that thing go for quite a few weeks. Yeah, I'm just going on the list here. Yeah, I am thinking of Caleb Johnson. Maybe that's what we were doing, Josh. Maybe
I think it was.
replaced him.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Other questions we got.
Hey,
Best
Danny
food.
Sams. Danny Sams is another one for this year. He's been fun as hell to watch, and
He's a rookie of the
he's
year
a
dark
rookie.
horse for you.
Yes, he is actually.
Yeah, does it count as dark horse? I should say.
No, but he's a pick for sure.
That's please nobody get mad that we assign too much meaning to words these days. Like if I say someone had an upset in dirt racing, I get 7 comments about how that's not a fucking upset, you douchebag, and it just goes from there. So I would say dark horse I'd be a little surprised if Danny Sams won the rookie of the year, but I can see him winning it. I feel like that's the definition there. Best food and drinks for tailgating before the big show on August 10th. Bringing my Blackstone to cook up some amazing food. That's from Aaron. Aaron, that's you. You got the Blackstone. Shoot me the location. I'll come eat the food and I'll tell you if you got it right.
There you go.
As far as food around Knoxville, you've had more Hawaiian Grill than I have. I usually go to that barbecue nacho truck.
Shocking. You got
I know,
nachos.
right?
That's crazy. Yeah, Rib Shack and the Hawaiian Grill are pretty good stops. Yeah. The Cattleman's tent too. You gotta get the corn and the rib sandwich, and they even have good burgers at like 3 a.m. If you're
That's across the street from the track in the Dingus parking
right
lot.
by Dingus. Yep.
Parking lot, yeah. Thursday night of Nationals, if you're down there, there is a free chicken feed. 1,000 pounds of chicken donated. It was donated last year at least by Bush's Chicken, Chase Randall's dad's company. I think they're doing it again. I know that I don't think the chicken feed is off at all. I think the chicken feed's on either way, but I'm pretty sure the chicken was donated by Chase's dad, John. So
I do recall
cool.
that, and that's been going on forever.
And it's free. It's all free.
It's insanely
stand in
popular.
line, get back in line.
Yes, it's insanely popular. Connor, I don't even know it was well after midnight. It felt like last year, and we were still in line, like
I wanted more
to get food. Yeah,
we work all day, and I'm like, okay, I could either drink my tail off or like have 4 pieces of chicken legs and sleep like a baby. And that's usually the route we've been going since I've gotten older, matured a bit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, drink water, do all that stuff. I don't want to discourage people from going to have you ever gotten one of those like $100 IV shots?
I have not. I do know I've seen drivers in there though.
I know people that get them. Drivers, I feel like is different from the normal citizen. Okay,
hey, there's a lot of drivers.
I'm not shaming any driver that does that. I'm investing $100 in myself to make sure I feel the best I can feel going into this big race. That's different from I'm hungover. I'm going to pay as much as a 124 diecast sprint car to get a shot in my arm and feel better, rather than just say it's a hangover. I'll be fine.
Hey, feeling better.
That's probably my hottest take that I could ever say on this episode of the show.
I've never gotten it. I stick to my spicy chicken bites as well. That's my go-to. Tenderloin.
I remember the first time. Yeah, I remember the first time I walked by. I'm like, man, they are making bank off that. I don't know what's in those little tubes, but shoot. No pun intended.
Oh Lord.
Another question I got texted to me from one of my friends just says he asks who he says dark horse. It's funny, he said dark horse as well. This is about an hour and a half ago. He said dark horse to win on Thursday and dark horse to win on Friday. Did I say Thursday, Friday? I meant Wednesday, Thursday.
I think it's tough because I don't know if they've split them yet for the 410s, have they?
Let me double check on Twitter because I thought they put something out.
Yeah, that's where I was going as well.
I don't want to do too much dead air.
Yeah, I'm not seeing. Yeah, it looks like only the 360s are split into their qualifying groups right now. So
it's drunk as whole. He's listened to us before because I've loved his name. What is the Punching Pandas? Is that the band that's playing?
Yeah. Thanks.
Hell, is that the same band that was playing last year that we saw?
That I don't know. I do not know. I'd have to.
I remember there's a band playing last year, and we thought they were so good on the stage.
Yeah.
And we're talking to people about it that work at the track, and they're like, "Yeah, they're really good." It turns out this is their last ever show together. They're breaking up after this. I'm like, man, you guys just can't win, can you? I don't think they have. They have not put out Thursday and Friday for nationals.
Yeah, that should, I would imagine, be coming any day now for some of maybe the stragglers that get in a little bit late where you don't really get your choice.
My dad just texted me to confirm. He said the chicken feed was going until at least 3:30 last year. We ate after going to Dingus. I didn't remember.
There you go, Dave.
Yeah.
You can always count on Dave.
That's right. We could guess on dark horses for each day, but
yeah, who would be who's your favorite and who would be a surprise in your eyes?
It's tough to do it without seeing the whole field. So
I know, so that's why I'm asking. I asked the tough questions here, Connor.
My favorite in this. Okay, I'm not taking Donnie shots for the reason that when he wins these massive shows, it seems like he comes a little under the radar. He's right there. He's lurking, and he's striking on Saturday. So I don't think he wins a prelim. As far as the A-main of the prelim night goes, you guys get what I'm saying. For sure, my dark horse, because he hasn't raced there a ton. He's been impressive as all hell when he has raced there. And we do have an idea for infield beers. Should he have a night that requires such a video, is Corey Day.
I knew where that was going.
Yep. Yeah, we got a couple of applicable people if that's the case. We have some ideas. No, Corey, when he won at Knoxville earlier this year, he looked really good. Really speedy. I think he sped away from Aaron Reitzel, if I remember right.
Yeah, it's tough.
I don't know if you were you there that night?
I was. I'm gonna go back and look at those results too, because that was he beat quite a few good guys there. And I can't remember if Larson was there or not. And that was one of the nights where he had issues.
Look that up for me and let me know.
Who's your favorite? It's gonna probably be it's not even that easy of a pick unless
I know Larson hasn't won a Nationals prelim night either in a while. I think if I just had to go with my gut, I'm absolutely dragging this out as long as I can because I don't know who I want to pick.
Well, we're not going to have dead air here. It was Logan. Logan was leading, and he got over the cushion, battling with Corey. That was the night when that happened. He beat Donnie Schatz and Kyle Larson to make a 2 out of 3 high limit sweep.
I will go with my favorite to win a prelim night after what he did last year, and coming into this race, and he would be a 2-time Knoxville Nationals winner if the Knoxville Nationals were 57 laps, and that's David Gravel. And what I'm insinuating is if there was 7 more laps in that race, David Gravel came from 22nd last year to finish second. And I think if he had 5 more laps, 4 more laps, maybe 4 is a little low. I'll ask Kyle. I'll ask Kyle what he thinks looking back on it. That'll be a fun question for him.
He was hauling ass. We can
Yes, he
confirm that.
was. Absolutely was. So yeah, I'll take gravel as my favorite.
All right. Well, I was looking through last year and just kind of going through. There was 2 people that stood out to me. They actually moved forward the same amount of spots. And I actually have 3. Yeah, I can't put Brad Sweet as a dark horse, can I?
He didn't
No,
make the Kings Royal.
He's a past Knoxville Nationals champion. He's not a dark horse.
Yeah, that might disqualify you a little bit.
My dark horse is going to be a guy that should have won at Eldora, and we're going to keep it here in the Always Race Day family. I'm going to go with Gio Selzy.
Yeah, I probably should have picked that one.
Come on, company man. Yeah, Gio.
Damon's not here to distract me and pick someone else. That I go.
Well, Damon would be.
Gravel,
we know Damon would be picking Logan Schuchart. But yeah,
that's right. That's right.
I'm going with Gio, and then for the favorite, I mean, I think Donnie gets it done. I think the 15 is gonna cap it off. He's been close this year.
I like it. You guys, if anyone has any questions left, or you want to hear, if you want to hear where we think your favorite driver is going to end up, throw that in here too. I know JJ Hickle and Dominic Selzy's podcast is throwing out their estimation of where they think people are going to run, and if we did that, we would be so wrong. And I don't think they're going to be very correct either. But gosh, props to them. Respect.
If you get something right, you get it right. And you take credit for it.
I can't wait till JJ's comes out.
Should be good.
I want to see what he says about himself. I don't know who's riding him. It could be someone. It could be someone completely separate.
Or is it AI?
I'm still backloaded on their show this year. Damon texted me. He said his favorite's also Donnie. He said Don, but I think he was trying to spell out Logan.
Damn, autocorrect, man.
Yeah.
You can't count on that.
He says his dark horse is Garrett Williamson. That's a good one too. He's been very solid this year.
Yes. Him and DMJ have really been clicking, especially as of late. I think they won the border battle title, right?
Yes,
with
they
their
did.
Win last week or last night.
And I don't know if anyone else noticed this because Eric Arnold put the points out. I believe if Chase would have won that last race, he would have won it. That came down to the win in the last race at Houston. I wish that's crazy. We need to find, and I'm not blaming my race pass. I'm not blaming anyone at Houston or Knoxville or anywhere. We need to find a way to get live points and know the situation as the races are being called. That adds such a bigger layer to that race. If you knew that on the broadcast, maybe the teams probably aren't paying attention to it. Just flat out. There's not a ton of teams that will admit to paying attention to points. But yeah, I that's my wish list. That's my Christmas wish list for dirt racing next year.
And by the way,
Blake says, "Let's go, boys." I like it.
That's right. And by the way, shout out to Jackson, Houston, and Knoxville for doing that. That's really cool, especially right before all this this big stuff going on. Some guys might want to, not risk tearing stuff up, but getting that extra money. Then a couple weeks ago with the 10 grand to win 360 race. It's a good time to be in sprint car racing. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Mike says his dark horse is James McFadden. I like that. He's been really solid this year. If I do that power rankings thing by myself, he's 10 through 12 area, top 15 for sure. He's been very fast lately. Ben asked no Justin Sanders. I haven't heard anything on
still not on the entry list. Yeah. So I'm not sure what is going on there.
If you're wondering, the Swindell Speed Lab car is also not on either list. So and I don't think that car's ran all year.
No, Kevin. I know Kevin had a back surgery and has been a little slow in recovery. So wish him well. Him and Jordan. I know they've been going through a lot since that all happened. So hopefully he's on the mend and we can see him down there. But I don't believe that car is going to be out, if I had to guess.
I got a question that just says top finishing Australian.
Ooh.
And we just brought up McFadden. I can only think of one guy. If Kerry can get through his prelim well, that's going to be the key. I don't think Kerry comes from the middle, but if Kerry can qualify in well, I think he'll be a threat. But Scott Boguski, when that car is on, that's a different different beast. If they can get that car working like it was the night Scott won, that would
Absolutely.
be something to watch.
I was going to say him. He would be one that I would be watching out for, especially last year on Hard Knocks. Him and Davey Heskin getting in there at the end. Those were really cool moments for those guys. And I didn't hear what or see what happened with McFadden on Saturday at Knoxville. Hopefully those gremlins are past. But he's also been lighting it up here as of late too. I think he would probably be my pick. But yeah, when Kerry is right at Knoxville, he's damn tough. He's a Knoxville track champion as well, so he knows how to get around that place.
Yeah, I almost just didn't say Kerry. That's why we need to stop doing these things where we pull off these long lists.
If we didn't name you, it's all Connor's fault.
Yeah, no, blame me. Carson McCarl, come to me. I didn't mention you during the threats to win. Someone commented. Shout out to, I think it was Justin or Michael. But yeah, no, it's going to be a fun week. What do you think of this comment, Josh? You need to get Skip Jackson back in the car.
Oh, I love it. I'll tell him that you said that, Dustin. That was my favorite back in the day, and it's still cool seeing him around Knoxville. I'm glad that he stuck around.
And tell them who your grandfather is and explain that connection that you have.
Yeah, Knoxville's a special place. You know, my grandpa's Jack Herway, Hall of Fame track announcer in Knoxville. So I been going down there pretty much since I was like one week old. So Knoxville will always have a special place in my heart for sure. And I think, Connor, we might have someone that's interested in doing a few interviews for Always Race Day. Speaking of Mr. Herway, he was telling me he's kind of got the itch again this week. We're gonna have to talk.
Are we gonna get some hot takes?
We might. We'll see. I'm not sure exactly what all he has in mind.
I want him. First, I have an idea for a different video with a different person that'll text you. I want him coming back and forth at me. I want to see what he's got, what his hottest takes are.
We could make that happen.
Awesome. Dustin says he was his favorite growing up. He's always so nice to me. And my dad, we'd always swing down and talk to Skip and Ricky Logan. How about that? What a nice comment.
Cool. Yeah, well, I feel that for sure. For sure.
I think you got anything else?
No, just follow Always Race Day at Always Race Day on what do we got?
Please
Facebook, Twitter, X, YouTube. We've got a lot of cool stuff in store for you guys this week. Shoot us some ideas too. What videos you want, who you'd like to see on Infield Beers. Connor's a celebrity now with
that's
with
right.
That,
tweet us any. Make sure you say for Infield Beers. Don't just tweet me names of drivers. I won't. I'll forget that I told you to do it. What's happening.
Throw some questions out there that you'd want asked in Infield Beers, and thankfully I haven't died yet when I was backing up, holding the camera. So
you haven't even stumbled.
No, well, last year
you guys talk about you guys.
Blake was my spotter last year. It's great.
Yeah, no one stumbled yet walking backwards and doing that.
No, so. I had to give Cade shit. He was the one that was like walking, almost jogging when we were doing that one a few weeks ago, and it's like, dude, we got to slow it down. My calves are cramping up right now.
I was thinking on Saturday when we were doing it, I was like, this has to be the slowest paced one of these we've ever done.
Yeah, it was great. No complaints from me.
All right. Thank you guys again. Yeah, send us we're going to try to do one every night. If there's not we don't want it forced. That's all I'll say. Same with the podcast. We're not going to try to do one of them every night, but we will have a couple through the week, I think. But yeah, we're going to try and have Infield Beers every night, at least every night of the big nationals, Wednesday through Saturday. So throughout the night, send us, and it could be a guy coming from 21st and finishing 4th. It doesn't have to be a winner. It could be a rookie finishing 15th and qualifying in, locking into Saturday. There's, possibilities on it are endless. Like when we did it with James McFadden, we did that one on a Friday night, and he said, "Are you sure? What if we did it tomorrow?" And I was like, "That's fine, but if you finish 17th instead of 3rd, I mean, probably not going to want to drink a beer and have a fun conversation." He goes, "Well, that'd be all the more reason to have one with you." So just we'll find some personalities out there. You let us know who you guys want, and Yeah, buy a shirt if you could. Come up and say hi anytime during nationals. I don't bite. I prefer not to trade shirts with you, but I am open to things. We can make some deals. So yeah, if that's something you want, you let me know. Uh, and yeah, subscribe, follow us everywhere: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that. And gonna be a fun 10 days. It's my favorite 10 days of the year. Can't wait to get down to Knoxville. Josh, you got anything else?
I was just gonna say we might try going live potentially after the races too. I know you said we're gonna try some stuff this week, so we might try to do a little live stuff depending on how the racing is. What's your
We got a
Twitter,
hotspot and a
Connor?
laptop that doesn't need to be plugged in anymore.
There you
My
go.
my Twitter is CF Changs9, like PF Changs, but with a C.
And
Every
I'm at
Connor Ferguson at is taken. I promise.
say yeah. Even with my unique name, it is too. I'm at Josh underscore Gerlach, and follow at Always Race Day. That's all I gotta say, Connor. It's Nationals time, baby. Let's go.
Hell yeah. All right. See you guys on Thursday. Thank you for listening.